Hello and welcome to Day 8, the final day of the Cheongju 2018 World Shooting Parasport Championships right here in South Korea. Hello, welcome to the R7 50-meter final, the three-position men SH1 event. My name's Alan March. Thank you for joining us, whether this is the first day or you've been with us for every moment. Let's take a look at our finalists. Andrei Doroshenko from Ukraine, third highest qualifier in the qualifying stages a little bit earlier on today here in Cheongju. He's in firing point A. Alongside him is Jin Ho, 40-year-old bronze medalist at the World Championships last time. Goyu Dingqiao, China is in C. Alongside the Chinese athlete is another of the Koreans. They've qualified for 3 spots here. Chu Sung-jeol. Also got Slovakia's Radoslav Malinovsky. The 31-year-old is in position E. Second of our Ukraine athletes is Yuri Stoyev. The 4-year-old from Odessa is in firing point F.
On firing point G, representing Republic of Korea.
Third
he was 5th place at
of the Korean athletes. The local athlete is Jin Ho.
It's Jin Ho. And last of all, on firing point H, representing United Arab Emirates.
Last but by no means least, the dominant force in this event since the Paralympics, Abdullah Sultan Alayani. Thumbs up from him. Let's see if we get a repeat of that thumbs up at the end of this contest. 4 World Cups since Rio have featured this event, and he's won all 4. Jin Ho is the youngest athlete in this final, one of 3 Koreans, as I mentioned as we went through. A big bonus for all of these athletes is the Paralympic champion, Laszlo Soranyi from Serbia, went out in qualifying, 12th position. So with the reigning Paralympic champion not involved in this final, huge opportunity for these 8 gentlemen to stake a claim as best in the world. But what they'll have to do is get past the man in firing point H. Abdullah Sultan Alayani has won 4 World Cup events since Rio. He's already been successful here as well. Alayani took the title in the 50-meter rifle prone event. Chu Sung-jeol actually took bronze in that event. So those that are new to the 3-positioned event, if you were watching yesterday in the women's event, it's exactly the same format. They'll start from what is considered a kneeling position. Now, those whose impairments don't allow them to kneel as you would expect, they have to use a circular disc or some sort of disc under the elbow. You can just about make that out on the top of that platform there. So under the leaning elbow, they must lean on a circular disc. They'll go from the kneeling position into the prone position. Again, that's been adapted for those that have an impairment that doesn't permit them to go into a full prone position. You see the blue disc under the left elbow of Jin Ho. And the final position for them is, of course, the standing position. They'll have 15 shots, 3 banks of 5 in the kneeling, 3 banks of 5 in the prone. Then they'll have 2 rounds of 5 in the standing, and the bottom 2 in the standings will leave the competition, so it can be quite brutal. And we saw yesterday in the women's event that one of the athletes just wasn't at the races at all, really struggled to find accuracy and struggle from round to round. Here's the man that they'll know they have to beat, because he will be accurate personified through the round. Hasn't lost an R7 event since Rio in the World Cups. He's hit a 51.7 with his 5 shots, the quickest through his 5. A little nod of approval there from Alayani as well. Well, he gave us a thumbs up early doors. I think he's giving himself a little thumbs up as well. One of the final shots is Go Ding Chao. Go 41.9 after 4 shots. A 10.8 with shot 4. And a 9.3 with his final shot of the first round. So a 51.7 will be Alayani at the top. Go Ding Chao with 51.2. Final shot of the round coming here from Jin Ho. Lee hitting a 10.6 to finish his round. So a great start from everybody. Stoyev will need to pick up, but he's not out of touch just yet. 3 rounds of 5 in this kneeling position. Let's take a closer look at our current leader. This is Abdullah Sultan Alayani from the United Arab Emirates. Seven-year-old already today has shown his class. He qualified with 1,171. The closest person behind him was 11 marks behind. That's over a full shot. So we'll see if people can keep pace with Abdullah Sultan Alayani. Jin Ho in position B was a bronze medal winner in the 10-meter mixed prone event. This is Andrei Doroshenko, who's already finished 4th. Knows the pain of not quite getting a medal in this competition. He missed out on the 50-meter prone mixed event. Alayani went on to win that. Still a little scrappy from Stoyev, but he has hit a 10.7 and a 10.5 in his first 3 shots in this next round, so that's much better from him. Alayani just keeping that consistency. 10.4, 10.7, a little 9.8 and 10.7 again. Early struggles for Park Jin Ho in position B as well. Won a fair few team medals have career, and they'll pick up another one of those awards a little bit later on. We'll talk about that towards the end of our first half of our broadcast here on the last day. If you're just joining us, where have you been? (6:30 a.m. Central Eastern, or Central European time, should I say. If you have got up nice and early to watch the competition, morning to you.
A high nice shot from Park Jin Ho shooting at 10.8.
Second
currently in
bank
the
of
lead.
5
He's still
shots
up,
completed.
at the first rank,
And still,
and having a
Ayani
total of 103.3
in control.
points. And second, Gao Dingqiao still shooting a good shot with the difference of 0.8 with the first rank. And also third,
Dingqiao,
Doroshenko with a difference of
102.5.
After the next
Just
5
in
shot
behind
series,
Alayani.
let's
Doroshenko
move
in
to the
third.
Cheongju
Malinowski from Slovakia heads the group of 3 Koreans. Lee Jin-ho is the best of the 3 so far, but there's not much to choose between them. And Stoyev has indeed managed to close the gap somewhat at the bottom. Don't lose anybody for a while yet. Good. Dingqiao, 111.9 as it stands, keeps him in around third. Doroshenko is now moved up. Good start to his third set of 5 with a 10-7, but still work to do. Alayani has an 11th shot of a 10-8. He's followed that with another 10-8. Alayani completely in control of this final at the moment. He led all the way through qualifying, finishing 11 points ahead of anybody else. And he's already showing his class in this final. 10-8, 10-8, 10-6 so far in this third bank of 5. Now, Cheongju, we mentioned earlier, a bronze in the 50-meter prone mixed event. So his strengths might lie in the next set of 15 shots. See the stillness from the Korean. Gently squeezing the trigger. Very sensitive triggers. Varying weights of the guns, but I can tell you that they are a considerable weight. Malinowski in fourth as it stands. Park Jin-ho, he's in that bottom 2, and that's not where you want to be. Qualified in second as well, did Park Jin-ho, so we expect more from him maybe in the later stages. Scored a 1,160 in qualifying. He was ranked 8th in the world going into this event here in Cheongju. Hard to tell whether Doroshenko is happy or unhappy, but he's hit a 52.9 from his 5 shots, so he'll can't be too disgruntled with that. 53.1 though again from Alayani, who's on 156.4. Final shot coming in from Ju Sung-chul. And Ju hit an 8-6 with his last shot, so this needs to be good. And Stoyev has indeed moved off the bottom. Just took a little time to get going, did Yuri Stoyev, but he's ahead now of Park Jin-ho, the man who's qualified second. At the moment, he's at the bottom. Ju Sung-chul in 6th position, Lee Jin-ho in 5th position. It's not to be coughed at from Doroshenko, that 52.9, but Alayani, 53.1.
Okay, everyone, you know yesterday I gave some gifts, but many people didn't know who made
Well, we go into a
before. So I would
little reshuffle, as it would be right now. They'll move from the kneeling position into the prone position, and there is always a 7-minute gap between that action. So we'll take you through the standings complete. Alayani, 156.4. Doroshenko, 154.8. Gao Dingqiao on 151.8. So there's already a 3-point gap between third and second. So the Ukraine and the, well, ever impressive Alayani are a little way in front here. 51.2 for Slovakia's Malinowski. And it's the first of the 3 Koreans, Lee Jin-ho, on 149 exactly. An 8.4 in the middle section of that final round will have displeased him immensely. Ju Sung-chul, 147.5. Yuri Stoyev was bottom after the first round, closed the gap in the second round of 5, and that third round of 5 much better. 50.4 was the 4th best score of the third round of 5 shots. So Stoyev picking up the pace, 1.472, and then it's Park Jin Ho, as I said, qualified in second position in the qualifying stages with 1.160. He's found himself at the bottom, but there is plenty more shooting to come. Let's take a look at some of these athletes making a move from the kneeling position into the prone position. And again, most of the athletes will use a piece of adaptive equipment, and they'll change a few things on their guns as well so that they can get the best results from the prone position. Just making sure they're comfortable. You notice all the discs that were under the elbows have now disappeared. Most have adapted their wheelchairs to give them a desk that will have to lean on, again, to signify a prone position. Just showing you the important role that the coaches and the assistants play in this sport as well. All of the athletes having different impairments means that some can do things that others maybe can't. You see in some of the classes, the loaders will assist, but here just the supportive equipment here just being locked into place with a aptly named Allen key.
Have you heard about it? Okay. Cheingju is the oldest metal printing throughout the whole world, and it's famous in Cheongju.
So the loading process, practice process just being gone through. This is Malinovsky and his coach just going through the process of making sure that everything is absolutely perfect. One slight deviation from how they normally like their setup, and it could be disastrous. Just 3 minutes at the top of the clock was showing, and some of them look happy, look relaxed, not so much Park Jin Ho. He's under a bit of pressure being at the bottom, and just asking his coach to come back a second and assist with something else. So again, just getting themselves in the right position. You notice the difference between Park Jin Ho here and this is Andrei Doroshenko. His impairment means that he can go fully prone, so he will be on the floor. We only had one lady in the women's event that was able to do that as well, Anna Norman of Sweden. You see, all of the athletes also have a strap that goes from the bottom of the barrel of the gun around their hand and then around their elbow as well, and that's to hold that hand in place that supports the gun. Just a slight adjustment of the sights as well. You see all the intricacies now up close and personal with all these athletes, maybe for the first time that you've watched this, and really starting to get an understanding of just all of the levels of detail that these athletes go through. See this gun here, a rest of the cheek on the side. There's a little bit of wind out there. You can see some of those red flags in the distance just moving. It's very sunny again here in Cheongju. So they have the light to contend with. Well, Park Jin Ho just looking on through his sights, but he'll have his sights set on getting away from the bottom of the standings. Well, there's some plenty of people in the crowd. The athletes themselves who don't qualify for finals have been excellent in supporting other athletes themselves. That was a branch of the UAE supporters club, I think, really. Alayani certainly has his team behind him. And he is indeed the man in control. Abdullah Sultan Alayani, 156.4. UAE have won themselves a team medal through the qualifying as well. You won't be surprised to know that Korea have won the team gold. All three of their athletes that they have are in the final. In fact, they actually selected one that's not even made it to the final. So Shim Young-jip is also going to be part of that medal process a little bit later on. They had 4 in the qualifying stages, and Lee Jang-ho wasn't one that they picked as part of the team, but he's made it through as well. He's actually the best of the 3 so far, so despite not being part of the team selection, he is there in 5th position. So the 7 minutes is all but up. As you can see, the clock has been reset to 2:30, which means they have that amount of time to get these next 5 shots. This is, in theory, the prone position for those that can. Those that can't, with their impairments, will simulate by leaning against those tables and adaptive floors, I suppose. Seen plenty of drama in the first 7 days. Will we get some here in the final day? Monika Todoviceva from Slovakia outshot Anna Norman and the reigning world and Paralympic champion Zhang Qiuping yesterday. In a very exciting finish to the women's 50-meter rifle 3-position event. Alayani is taking on all comers and isn't showing an ounce of waver in his attempt to win this World Championship. He started well, 10-5, 10-3, 10-2. Doroshenko only in the 9s here. Great start from Melanovsky, by the way, 10-9 with his first shot in the prone position. He'll be disappointed to have followed that with a 10. And Go Dingqiao, 9-8, 9-9. So also will want better, much better. Ju Sungjiu had a decent start. Just hit a 10-7 as well with his penultimate shot of the round, and Alayani drops one outside the 10 for a rare moment. Brilliant from Melanovsky. He's just finished with a 10-8, 10-4, 10-8. So a 52.9. His round of 5, much higher than anyone else's. This is Doroshenko on the near side, who's only managed a 49. He'll be disappointed with that. You can see he's just trying to make a few adjustments to his position before he has to go into the next set of 5. But Doroshenko, a 49, is actually the second lowest total of the 5 shots in the prone position. So the Ukraine athlete will want a big improvement. There you see, 52.9 from Melanovsky. Well done, Park Jin Ho as well, 52.2. So that's the top 2 in that first 5. Alayani with that 9.9 in the final shot, dropping to a 51.2, but he's still on 207.6, leading away from Melanovsky and Doroshenko. And Go Dingqiao in the mix for medals as well. All of the athletes scored over 200 in their first 20 shots. 4 of them didn't. None of the Koreans managed a 200 total so far, but Park Jin Ho try and push on from here. Starts with a 10-2. This is Ju Sungjiu. Jin Ho in a 10-7 with his last shot. Alayani just starting a little scrappy. 10-5, 9-6, but back to a 10-4 straight away. So he's able to correct himself straight away. Again, you see those flags really moving through the breeze. And that's where these guys have to use their expertise and their skill to the maximum. 9-7 from Alayani. Malinovsky going well now. Slovakian ahead of the Ukraine. He's slightly closing the gap. 10-3 to finish for Alayani. This is 29-year-old Lee. Hasn't competed in a major competition in the R7 event, so big opportunity for him, but he finds himself inside the bottom two at the moment. Alayani on the near side, finished with the 10-3, so he's at a 50.5, but again, Malinovsky able to close the gap a little. He's now just 3 points behind. So that's the end of the second bank of 5 in the prone position. Alayani 258.1, Malinovsky 255.1. Go Dingqiao has also now gone past Doroshenko, who's having a horrid time here in the prone position, a 48.8. That's the worst of the 8. He's gone from second to fourth in his first 2 sets of 5 in the prone position. He'll be delighted there's only one more left. You can see him shuffling and moving around. Clearly just hasn't got himself set up right. Malinovsky, on the other hand, has been good. But another 52-plus score from Jin Ho. And Jin Ho will now be wanting to climb the leaderboard with another set of 5. Alayani in control. Starts this third bank of 5 with a 10-8. So too does Cheongju. Just when I said that Lee Jang-ho was going well, his first shot in this third bank of 5 is his worst from the prone position in this final. Alayani hitting 10 plus with his first 3 shots. Park Jin-ho needs to get an improvement. Hitting a 9-3 previously. Yuri Stoyev at the bottom. Doroshenko needs a big improvement as well. He's found a couple of 10s this time around, is the Ukraine. 10-2 and a 10-5. Go Dingqiao. He's in the medal positions at the moment. He's 52 years of age, competed in para table tennis before he took up shooting. 42-year-old Ju Sung-chol has now finished, the man from Pucheon. Hasn't been to a Paralympics or a World Championships before, so he's having a pretty decent week here at these World Championships. We've reached the end of the prone position then, so a 310.1. A little drop here from Malinovsky, and Alayani picks up in the final 5. Those last 4 shots you can see, 10-3, 10, 10-7, 10-2, means he scores 52. So 310.1, it's a lead for the man from the UAE, Malinovsky from Slovakia in second position. At 9.7, a rare blip in this prone position for the Slovakian. He's been going well. 305.6. Go Ding Chiao is now on 304.3. A 51.3 from him. Good way to finish the prone position, and much better from Andrei Doroshenko. He was the worst set of 5 in the second set of 5, but he's now gone better with a 50.5, and he finished very strongly. 10.5, 10.8 with his final 2 shots in that round. Not everybody can do that. 10.5, 10.8, 303.1 from Doroshenko. In 5th position, Jin Ho for Korea. He is the leader of the 3 Koreans. They're all together, and they have been pretty much all the way through this final. 301.6. He's bang level with Park Jin Ho. Both of those going 51 plus in that last set of 5. Ju Sung Chul is the first person in the danger zone, as we're going to call it from now on. 51.3. 301.1. He's well in front of Yuri Stoyev, who's been pretty much at the bottom here since the start of this competition. He briefly skirted with 7th position, but he's back down in 8th. Right, we'll move into another position then. There is a 9-minute gap. There isn't now, obviously, but there was a 9-minute gap between the end of the prone and the start of the standing section in this rifle 3-position event. So let's take a look as the athletes again move from one position to another. Again, this 3-position competition unique to all the others here in these championships, taking in all 3 of the possible scenarios they can shoot from. And again, these athletes will adjust their guns, they will adjust their sights, they will adjust how they are positioned. Again, for those whose impairment prevents them from standing, they will be in a position that simulates that, at least. This is the man under the most pressure. He will need his standing shooting to be outstanding if he is to continue in this competition. There were the removal of the straps that I mentioned that were holding the supporting arm and the elbow in place in the prone position, trying to prevent any sort of wobble or movement. The stands that they've got now are to simply rest the gun in between the rounds. Well, he always gives you the air of a man that's relaxed, and he surely is relaxed at the moment. Abdullah Sultan Alayani, 310.1. Very much in control. Again, taking a look at the intricacies of these rifles.
Oh, okay. Your friends, how is it? Are you interacting well with the friends? Yeah.
Again, all of the guns designed, and maybe the grips are molded. Talking to Joachim Norberg yesterday about how he'd gone to a molding specialist in Germany to have his hand looked at in 3D, and a mold was made of it, and that was how his wooden handle was created. All very intelligent and clever stuff. He said it's about your hand being comfortable with the gun. You're not really gripping it, just wearing the gun like a glove.
And everything is really good. Okay, now I would like to ask.
You see them just going through their final preparations, making sure their sights are correct. This man's sights firmly set on a gold. Another gold here.
He said about my announcing, it's very good.
Stoyev really needs to find something mesmerizing in the first set of 5 and bring himself in contention. It's quite tight for the 3 Koreans. The bottom 2 go out after 2 sets of 5 here in the standing. Brutal exits for the bottom 2. But with Lee Chang-ho and Park Jin-ho level on 301.6 and Yu Sung-chal only 0.5 behind, that 7th place is where the battle's at. Malinowski here will be disappointed with his 3rd set of 5 in the prone position. He hit 52 and 51 in the first 2 rounds of 5. ended with a 50.5, so all the work he'd done to get closer to Alayani was undone.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Currently ranked world #1, 4 straight World Cup successes since Rio. The fact that the Paralympic champion Saranyi has not qualified for this final means that Alayani is hot favourite for this, and he showed why in those opening stages. Just trying to control the breathing, control the heart rate, just keep himself as steady as possible. Now looking at a look across the line. These are the gentleman trying to stop this man here. He was furthest from you in that last shot. He is the furthest away from anybody else with his shooting. 310.1 from Malinovsky's 305.6. And we are nearly ready to get back to competition. The countdown is ticking down indeed. So Wanda Jewell on the left-hand side there, bronze medalist in Olympics past. Here we go, we're pretty much ready to return to action. Stoyev at the bottom, in real danger. 2 lots of 5 in the standing position to take himself out of those bottom 2 places. The bottom 2 after the next 10 shots will go. The battle is on between the 3 Koreans here. Yoo Sung-chul currently occupies 7th position. Park Jin-ho and Lee Chang-ho level on 301.6. It's really as if the leaderboard has been split in half, the top 4 and the bottom 4. But if you are to compete for one of those medals, you've got to go big in this standing from the start. Alayani on the near side, looking very relaxed, and Lee Jiang-ho just going through some pre-event muscle stretches with his mouth, I would say. See the focus on Stoyev's face a moment ago. And Yoo Sung-chul also in that bottom 2. You see the concentration, just Yoo there, just eyes closed. They try and make that target in their mind and in their eye as big as they possibly can. And all the pressure is on Stoyev. The man from Odessa, 44 years of age now. Been to 2 Paralympic Games as Stoyev. His highest position is a 6th place finish. Did that in Rio in the 10-meter prone rifle event. He's going to need a very good standing event. Yoo Sung-chul has just put a huge amount of pressure on himself. Stoyev's hit a 10.4 and Yoo Sung-chul has just hit a 7.7. Oh, maybe the nerves have got to him here. Great start from Aliani, 10 and a 10-6. Stoyev can't follow that 10-4 with another +10 score. He's at 9-3, 10-7 from Malinovsky, 10-6 from Aliani off your shot. And those two are very much in control of this competition. Go Ding Chao, 10-5, 10-2. Jin Ho. Well, he's at a 10-5 there. He'll have enjoyed that. He's trying to close down on Doroshenko, who's at a 9-5, 9-1 to start his round. Stoyev's 10-4 is being wasted a little here. He's hit a 9. Ju Sung-chul can't find his accuracy either. That 7-7 might have demoralized him, you know. 9-9, 9-3 he's followed it with. Just to see what they say at the end here, whether the wind and the conditions have affected, because Aliani now has just hit a 9-3 to finish his round. Has Malinovsky got a good finish in store? He's at a 10-7 already. He's got one more left, Malinovsky, the Slovakian. He's at a 10-2 with his penultimate shot of the round. What more can Malinovsky give us? Can he close the gap on the leader? (10-1) from Malinovsky, so he scores 50.9 in this round. 356.5 will come to the leaderboard at the end of the round. Go Ding Chao is in third, but he's hit outside of 10s pretty much all the way through here. And Doroshenko with a brace of 10-5s in this round as well. Yuri Stoyev has hit a 46.9, and that might just be all she wrote for Yuri Stoyev in this competition. Ju Sung-chul still hasn't managed to find a 10 in this round. This is Park Jin-ho. If he's to close on the top 4, he needs a big last shot here. Doesn't get it, 8-7. Well, Lee Jung-ho hit a 10-7-10 finish. So here we go then. Just a reminder that Stoyev needed to come out of the blocks firing on all cylinders in that first set of 5 in the standing position, and it hasn't gone that way for Stoyev. And I'm pretty sure he will go at the end of this second set of 5. Bottom 2 will go. Ju Sung-chul in position D should also have too much to do here. 347.6. Another set of 5 before we lose anyone. If you weren't familiar with the rules, not everybody knows them. So another set of 5 for anybody watching, whether you're from Canada, from Great Britain, from anywhere in the world. We'll let you know what's happening right here in the stream of the World Shooting Parasport Championships. Malinovsky desperately trying to close down on Aliani, but a 9-2. He may be putting himself under a bit too much pressure. Aliani just starting steadily with a 10. It's better from Stoyev, 10.2. Ju Sung-chul hitting a 10, and maybe the realization that these are the final shots of their World Championships are sinking in. Aliani pretty much finding the same spot, 10 and a 9-9 to start with. This is the man currently occupying 8th position. Oh, and an 8-8. Ju Sung-chul has hit a 10 and a 10-3. Can he close down on Park Jin-ho? Park is a bronze medal winner this week bronze in 2014 at the World Championships, a 7th place in Rio. So the last thing Park Jin Ho will expect is to go out early. He's hit a 10-2. He should have enough of a gap to hold off Ju Sung-chul. But Ju has started well, 10, 10-3, 10-7. And Ju doesn't want to leave early. Pressure is now on Park, and, well, Go Ding-chao has dropped right down because Lee Jiang-ho is on a charge. 10-1, 10-3, 10-5, has moved himself up into third, and Doroshenko is down in fourth now. Oh, fascinating stuff. Doroshenko has responded with a 10-6. So he now moves back into third position. The battle at the bottom, and Go Ding-chao dropping like a stone in water here. 8.6 in his last shot, and Ju Sung-chul is hit 10-3, 10-7, 10-4. Well, while Stoyev is nailed on to go out here, or he's just hit a 10-8, the battle is on between the man on the left side of your screen, Ju Sung-chul, and the Chinese athlete Go Ding-chao. Oh, and a 7-8 from Ju Sung-chul at exactly the wrong time. Well, what a time to do that. Well, a 7-7 now from Go Ding-chao. Well, we'll come back to the lead in a moment, but the real drama is between 6th and 7th. Good finish from Stoyev for his own confidence. 10-8, 10-4 to finish. But Go Ding-chao is on the verge of an exit here. Great run, and he has as well. Well, phenomenal from Ju Sung-chul, despite the fact that his 40th shot was a 7-8. Stoyev, 49.6 in the round. No shame in that whatsoever. He goes out on 394.3. But Go Ding-chao has gone from medal positions to out.
With 409.2 points. And second rank is Malinowski with a difference of 5.4. And third, Doroshenko with a difference of 0.8. And after the next single shot, there will be a
real surprise. I think maybe to Go Ding-chao as well. I don't think he realised he dropped so far down. Well, there's a real murmur in the auditorium here. The finals hall crowd just chattering away to themselves because all of a sudden, Go Ding-chao, he dropped out of the medal positions in the first set of 5, and a very disappointing 44.4 in the second set of standing 5, and he's gone out now. One shot and out this time around. It should be Ju Sung-chul. Park Jin Ho would have to come up with a real blip. But Ju Sung-chul getting a couple of decent high 10s in his last bank of 5. He gets one more effort, you would suspect. It's a little bit wide of the mark. So Ju Sung-chul hitting a 9-9. 10 from Park Jin Ho, putting a little bit of pressure on Doroshenko. The leader is still Ariani from Malinovsky. But it's time to say goodbye to Ju Sung-chul. So that's how we're looking. Well, Lee Jiang-ho has given the home crowd something to cheer about at the moment. He's got himself back into the medal contention, and not only that, he's closing the gap on Malinovsky. Alayani is away, 419.3. You can't see anybody closing him down here.
Position is Park Jin Ho from Republic of Korea.
For the next competition shot, low.
Doroshenko in 4th position. Well, start with 8. And then there were 5. Doroshenko looks away in disappointment. And not necessarily just because he wants to stay ahead of Park Jin Ho. He had to come up with something big to try and get above. But in fact, it's an 8-8 from Doroshenko. That's where the disappointed face came in, because a 10-7 from Park Jin Ho. And Doroshenko had every right to look disgruntled with his effort. And he is off. Well, Ukraine have lost both of their competitors in this final. And you just to the left-hand side of your screen, you might just see the body language of Andrei Doroshenko. He's absolutely gutted. But, well, it's too late to think about what could have been an 8-8 from Doroshenko there. Brilliant from Park Jin Ho to hit a 10-7. He wasn't worried about anybody else's scores. And now it's just 1 point between second and fourth. These medals could go absolutely anywhere. Jin Ho on 42 or 422.1. Lee on 422.9. Malinovsky on 423.1. Forget the leader. If you want my opinion, this is done. 10-5 in his last shot. Alayani is in tremendous form here today. This R7 event was made for him. And Malinovsky drops out of the medals with an 8-3. Malinovsky in E has gone. The Slovakian, who was the one man pushing Alayani through this competition, has hit an 8-3 with his 43rd shot. And he too, like Doroshenko, will be bitterly disappointed. Huge opportunity for a medal. And an 8-3, the two Koreans both hitting a 10-1. And as I mentioned, Alayani is in a class of his own here. 10-5, 10-5 in his last two visits. He's just steadily going on with his business. He's in this furthest position in position 8, which means absolutely everybody is behind him. He's got it back to the entire rest of the field. He has no idea what's happening behind him, and I don't think he cares. Alayani in control here. Just has to keep his nerve for 2 more shots. The battle for silver is here. Oh, disgruntlement from Lee. Park trying to keep composed. Lee's hit a 9-8. Oh, sorry, an 8-7. And Park Jin Ho, it's a 9-8. And it's bronze for Lee Jin Ho. I tell you what, fair play to these two. They were in the bottom half after the prone event, and they've come good in the standings in the standing. Well, this guy here has just shown his class throughout. Look at these last few shots. He's just kept his composure in the 10s. He's letting everybody else do the work behind him. And on the left, well, he'd have to miss the target altogether here. And he's just not going to do it. Alayani finishes his round. Park Jin Ho will take silver. Oh, it's a little erratic from Park at the end, and it's a victory for this man here. He gave us a thumbs up at the beginning of the show, and I told you he'd be giving us a thumbs up at the end, didn't I? Well, you have to say, Park Jin Ho was fleeting with the bottom two in the early stages of this competition, but he's muscled his way back to a second position, found the accuracy he needed through the latter stages, and has got himself a silver medal and a shake of the hands with his coach. And, well, a little nod of approval from Abdullah Sultan Alayani from the United Arab Emirates. It is a second gold of the World Championships for him. Well, Stoyev struggled his way through. Gold Ding Chao gave us a mighty surprise, dropping out of the medals in the standing events to go out first. Yu Song Chul worked hard. Doroshenko with a surprise exit. Malinovsky with a surprise exit as well. It left the door open for 2 Korean medals here in Cheongju, but nobody, upon nobody, was stopping Abdullah Sultan Alayani. 460.6. He was only 8.9 away from the world record. He has got a big smile because he knows, again, like his compatriot Park Jin Ho, they were in the wrong end of the table at the end of the first 2 parts of this 3-position event. But it is a bronze for Lee Jang-ho, silver for Park Jin Ho. But again, this guy here, remarkable. 460.6. Alayani, 4 straight World Cup victories since Rio. He's certainly in form coming into these World Championships, and he leaves with the R7 gold medal. Don't go anywhere. We'll have the medal ceremonies in just a few moments' time, but for now, it's gold for the UAE. So welcome back to our coverage of Day 8 here at the Cheongju 2018 World Shooting Parasport Championships. It is indeed the final day of competition. And Abdullah Sultan Alayani has performed admirably in the final event. For him, 460.6, 10.2 clear of second position Park Jin Ho. Well, that's exactly how they qualified as well. That's the top two from qualification here in this 50-meter rifle three-positioned men event. We've got the medal ceremony coming up in just a second. Lee Jang-ho made it 2 medals from 3 for the South Korean team, despite the fact that all 3 of the Koreans were in the bottom 4 when it came to the final part of this three-positioned event. There they are. You've got our lovely medal girls as well. They are in what is called a hanbok dress. And the hanbok outfit is quite a traditional outfit here in South Korea. This one's quite formal. They look great throughout the course of the week. 3 medal winners, 2 Koreans either side of the man from the UAE. .46, 460.6, just phenomenal scoring from Alayani. Well, the medals were presented by Mike Yu, Cheongju 2018 LOC Secretary General, and His Excellency Abdullah Saif Al Noraimi, Ambassador of the United Arab Emirates to Republic of Korea.
Ladies and gentlemen, the bronze medalist with a score of 441.
Well, as I said a moment ago, it was a very impressive turnaround from 2 of the 3 Koreans. Well, he nearly came undone. He's all zipped up now, but he was inside the bottom 3 for large parts of the opening events. The kneeling and the prone events weren't kind to Lee Jang-ho, but he's managed to find his way back to a bronze medal and a couple of decent scores in the standing section meant that he does indeed receive his bronze medal.
And now the silver medalist with a score
Park Jin Ho hit 11.60
representing Republic of Korea.
during qualifying to finish behind Alayani. He finishes in the same position in the final event as well. A bronze medalist in 2014. He has gone one step further this time around, but still couldn't quite make it to the top of the pile in this 3-position event. He was 7th in Rio, so actually, considering that's less than 2 years ago, he'll be delighted now to be back on the podium when it comes to this event.
And now the gold medalist.
But talk about solid, talk about comfortable, talk about quality. Abdullah Sultan Alayani from the United Arab Emirates takes the title, 460.6. World record is only 468.9, so he wasn't far off that. And you have to feel that maybe it was a little too comfortable, that he couldn't push. I'm sure His Excellency is delighted to be able to present the medal here on Day 8. And Alayani, who right at the beginning of the programme put a thumbs up to the camera, and well, we predicted that he might just be giving us a thumbs up at the end as well. It's gold for Alayani and the UAE.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of United Arab Emirates.
Well, he's applauding his anthem, but everybody was applauding him when it came to this competition. Ayani, far too strong. 4 World Cup successes in a row since Rio. He left those Paralympic Games as a silver medalist. He was adamant he wanted to be world champion, and he's been in dominant form here in this final. Korea getting 2 more individual medals to add to their tally here on home soil. It's been a good event for the South Koreans here in Cheongju. The World Parachuting Sport Championship has more to come. There's one more event later today. We've got one more ceremony to come in a little while as well. So stick with us. We'll be back with you with the team ceremony in just a few moments' time.
Thank you everyone for joining the 50-meter Island race competition once again.
So again, welcome back to the coverage of the Cheongju 2018 World Shooting Parasport Championships. And we're back with our team victory ceremony for these championships. The R7 event, only 3 teams were entered during qualifying. You enter 3 from your squad of shooters into each event, and those 3 scores are combined to give you a team total. The unlucky team on this occasion were the People's Republic of China, the +1 rule is always used, which means that if only 3 are entered into a competition, 1 will always miss out, so that you have to compete for the medals. Works the same if 4 are in, you get 3 medals, but here, just the 2 team medals to come. Our presenters, the same as last time out. Mike Yu, Cheongju 2018 LOC Secretary General, and His Excellency Abdullah Saif Al Noraimi, Ambassador of the United Arab Emirates to Republic of Korea.
Ladies and gentlemen, the silver medalist representing United Arab Emirates.
So again, 2 medals, or 2 team medals should I say, being given. And the team from the United Arab Emirates, they eventually ended up with the individual winner. But this is Ubaid Al-Dahamani, 1-1-2-3 in qualifying. Abdullah Saif Al-Ayani on the far side, and in the middle here is the man that's took the individual title, Abdullah Sultan Al-Ayani. What a teammate to have with you, and he's got another medal as he's pointing to. And that's Al-Ayani, who got 1-1-3-0. But when you've got a teammate who's amassing 11.71 in qualifying, you're always in with a good chance of picking up a team medal, aren't you? And again, His Excellency is able to present medals to his own nation. But it's home nation gold in the team event. 2 of these 3 qualifying for the final on the near side. Park Jin Ho, who qualified in 2nd and eventually finished in 2nd, of course, with 1-1-6-0. In the middle, that's Shim Yoongjip, who was the 4th member of the Korean team to enter the competition, didn't make the final. He scored 1-1-4-0, and Ju Song-chul, who was the first of the Koreans to exit during the individual final, but he wears a team gold nonetheless. Team total was 3,446. World record is actually held by the Korean team, 3,460.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of Republic of Korea. Ladies and gentlemen, your world champion.
Well, another South Korean anthem here in South Korea. And that team of Park, Ju and Shim outscoring the United Arab Emirates quite nicely during qualifying. 3,446 against 3,424. And there are your team medalists. Well, that just about concludes the first half of day 8. There's still more action to come here on the final day of the Cheongju 2018 World Shooting Para Sport Championships. We'll be back with you around about 5 to 4 local time. We've got the R9 final coming up. But from our first session here in Cheongju, goodbye.